Quinn Ridenauer with the STEAM Powered Classroom. Now last week we talked about some resources about social studies to help your kids get involved in thinking about how politics work, how court cases work, how the stock market works, and maybe even some ethics behind that. And this week I want to kind of tag along with that theme and talk about some resources that will help your kids explore ethics and philosophy. Now I've got 5 titles for you today, and we'll start with Every Human Has Rights, a photographic declaration for kids, and it's based on the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And it has this book on every 2-page spread. It has one of those declarations, one of those points, combined with a poem exploring that point. Beautiful pictures here. This doesn't give you tons of information about this. It doesn't tell you what to think about these things. It just presents this information and allows a nice jumping point for discussion of these human rights. So this would be good for any age, truly. And you could have that discussion at whatever level they were ready to have. The next choice I'm going to show you is Really, Really Big Questions About Life, the Universe, and Everything. And this one's by Stephen Law. This is a really cute book. It's kind of funky. This is one that's going to draw you visually into the book. And I like the way it's organized too. So each section of the book takes on a different big life question that could be really fun to discuss. And I will read a couple of these for you now. Chapter 1, we have The Great Big Universe Puzzle, with mysterious minds and robots that think, the good, the bad, the ugly, and seeing and believing. And each of these chapters then has tons of sub-questions to help you explore those bigger topics. Now again, it doesn't tell you what to think, and this is one of the things I really like about all of these choices today. It just presents a series of questions. It gives you some information to get you considering different points, but it never really draws the conclusions for you. So this is really great. This would be fun for the kids to read on their own. Might be fun to cover over lunch together, or just kind of bring up a new section and to talk about that when you're together. Or again, I'm thinking about a road trip right now. This might be a fun road trip book. So there's that title. Now if you want a little bit more just factual information to get behind to the nitty-gritty of philosophy, I'm going to recommend A Young Person's Guide to Philosophy by D.K. And you know I'm a big fan of D.K. books. And I love this book. Goes through, it kind of does it in a timeline format. So you start with the older philosophers and you move to more modern thinkers. You've got a nice illustration of your philosopher with some really fun things to explore on the page. So the illustration ties into some interesting points about that philosopher, that thinker. And then it gives you some nice information. So this is one that's very readable as a child, and it's very readable as an adult. I found that I was spending as much time with this book as my own kids. So this is a great choice to get exposed to some of these philosophers. And that book makes a great companion for the next 2 books, Philosophy for Kids, 40 Fun Questions That Help You Wonder About Everything by David White. And this one is the beginners, and then once you graduate this book, then he also has the Examined Life, Advanced Philosophy for Kids. So one of the things I like about these books, this one especially, again, this book is broken up into different topics. So like I'm in the reality section right now. There's critical thinking section. And they'll have the philosopher. Hold on, let me get this for you. They will, believe it or not, they will present the philosopher. And there's a small illustration of the philosopher, and it gives you some basic information about what he or she, I think they're all he's actually, what he thought about, maybe some she's, hopefully, but what they thought about, what their philosophy was, what they taught. And then there's a little quiz. And the quiz, the child can speak it out or write it down, and it's to kind of bring up some questions that were brought up from the philosopher. So, and the questions help you decide whether or not you agree with that philosopher. And then at the end, there's some more discussion for how to, just kind of some discussion ideas about what to do with those responses. Where do you go from there? And at the end of each chapter, there's a little section for further thought. So lots of great discussion prompts. And that's, again, what I really love about all of these books. It presents the ideas and then really allows the kids and the parents and the teachers and everybody involved to then really think about what they feel about these philosophies, these morals, these ethics, and make their own determinations. So I hope you enjoy those. I hope those give you some great campfire conversations, and I'll see you next time.